Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome to Straight Talk on 106.9, the XFM. I'm Bill Paul, and many of you have probably heard in the news about a home called Bethesda. And Bethesda is threatened with closure unless they can come up with a whole pile of money. So we have somebody who's working on the fundraising of that, and there's lots of things that you can do listening to help Bethesda stay alive. And we have with us today Jamie Chambers. And welcome to the show, Jamie.
Thank you so much for inviting me here today.
All right. And you're with the Save Bethesda Committee. Mm-hmm. What is Bethesda?
Bethesda is a group home that has been in operation for over 50 years in London, Ontario, and it helps young mothers in crisis.
Now, is it the only place in London for young mothers?
The Bethesda Center is unique in southwestern Ontario in that the services that it offers are so wide. They offer individual and group counseling. They offer life skills education, actual education. There's a school right in the building that's run by the Thames Valley School Board. And they just offer everything that a young mother in crisis would need to help her be successful.
And you say it's a group home, so they actually live there?
Yes.
And who determines who can go there and how long they can stay?
I believe anybody between the ages of 13 and 17 who is pregnant can go and live there. When I would live there myself, you could stay for a year after your baby was born, but they have second stage housing now on the site where the girls go and live in a self-contained apartment, and I believe they can stay there for up to 2 years.
And why is it threatened with closure?
According to the Salvation Army, who runs the Bethesda Center, they've run into a funding shortfall of about $300,000 per year.
And is there nowhere else to turn?
They have publicly stated in the media that no rock was left unturned, but the community was never approached in trying to raise money.
And so you have to raise how much?
The community has been tasked with raising $1.5 million by May 31st.
So a couple of months, and that's it.
Yeah, they've stated if we can raise this money, they will keep the doors of Bethesda open for an additional 3 to 5 years while they actively search for a new funding model, which means the services might be changed a little bit, but the program will still be there, which is what's important.
And how realistic is it to raise $1.5 million in a couple months?
I think we can do it. I'm really optimistic. We've raised almost $50,000 in the past couple weeks. We have some events coming up that we believe will not only generate more funds, but even wider awareness.
There's even a celebrity mom who's come forward to say that she supports Bethesda.
Yes, Patty, who is Justin Bieber's mom, has stated that she will assist us in raising awareness.
And she was also, I think, a user of the service?
That's my understanding as well, yes.
Mm-hmm. So lots of people. So any statistics on how many families have gone through the program or group home?
I really wish we had those statistics, but because the service is sensitive in nature, I think it would be hard to get the statistics.
How many people can they handle at once?
They can have 18 mothers and their babies at one time, and they've been operating for over 50 years, so there's quite a few people from there.
And what do you think of shows on MTV and the single moms and all these things that are on the air these days? The reality shows and stuff like that.
I certainly don't like the glamorization of teen motherhood. I was a teen mom, and it was very hard, and I can't imagine having gone through it without the Bethesda Center. But having to do it on TV or alone, it's certainly not something we want to encourage.
What do you think would happen to the teen moms if Bethesda closed?
I can tell you what probably would have happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine I would not have finished high school. I imagine I would never have gone to college. I wonder if my daughter would even still be living with me, because I don't think I would have I know I wouldn't have the parenting skills that I learned at Bethesda.
And how long were you there?
I was there for 10 months. I came when I was about 3 months pregnant, and I left when my daughter was about 2 or 3 months old.
And typically what happens after you leave Bethesda?
I got an apartment, and I continued my high school education. I ended up signing up at the Center for Lifelong Learning, finished up my compulsory credits there.
And what kind of camaraderie is there between the single moms at Bethesda?
When you're there, it's pretty funny, because you have a lot of young women living in close quarters with hormones raging. So there's a lot of drama, but there's also a lot of understanding among the girls who live there. And I've found since the 11 years since I've been there, I'll meet people who have been at Bethesda at a different time that I was, and it seems like we already instantly have a connection.
And how about the people who run Bethesda and administrate the program? Is there a lot of sympathetic work there or training so that they can help the young mothers?
The staff at Bethesda are absolutely amazing. A couple of weeks ago, an article came out in the newspaper about how they had agreed to cut wages, and I've seen the letter that came from the Christian Labour Association of Canada, and they collectively took a cut of $110,000 in wages and benefits a year ago to try to save the Bethesda program. The staff aren't working there for the money; they're working there for the girls and their babies.
And are there other homes like this around Ontario, around Canada?
There are other smaller programs. I'm told there is a program in Hamilton, which is very, very similar to Bethesda, which is also run by the Salvation Army.
And any thought to holding fundraising events for Bethesda that the public can go to?
Absolutely. We have a couple things coming up, actually, that the committee is directly involved with. The first is the Save Bethesda Coffee House, which is happening on Monday, May 7th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Wortley Roadhouse. There's going to be live music, some really great auction items, and I believe it's $10 per ticket. We have a barbecue coming up at the Covent Garden Market on Friday, April 20th.
There's a day to remember.
And there's going to be hot dogs and hamburgers and lots of other good stuff to eat.
So that's April 20th.
Yep.
So
at the Covent Garden Market.
So if anybody has the munchies on 420, that's the place to go. Okay. Everybody's invited to these things, and bring your wallets.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, our committee doesn't accept the cash ourselves. We're directing people where to make the donations. They can write a check and drop it off directly at the Bethesda Center or the Salvation Army, or they can make a credit card donation on the website salvationarmy.ca/SaveBethesda.